Okay, I think we're live. Hi, it's Charlie Zeiss from Stargate Pyramids, and this is Pyramid Quest. Today is June 29th, 2020. Joining me today is Lisa Richards, as always.
Hello.
First of all, I want to apologize for those of you who did not see the notice last week. We were unable to do the show, and I'll explain why quickly so you'll know there was a good reason for it. I was planning last week to do a show on how to make your own Caduceus coil. And quite honestly, the night before it was last Sunday night, I came up with an idea that I'd been trying to figure out on a construction issue on the coil, and I didn't have time to test it out, number one, in the shop to see if it worked, but secondly, I also hadn't had a chance to test it with Lisa, so we decided to go ahead and not do a show last week. So I apologize for those of you who showed up last week. What we're going to do this week is actually some more testing. Lisa's going to be dousing the Caduceus coil in a variety of different contexts so that we can answer questions. We're going to be showing you a list of questions that we're going to be exploring today with respect to the coil. We'll show them at the beginning of the session, but if any of you either are live with us on Zoom or on the live stream on the Stargate Pyramids YouTube channel, if you have questions or things that you'd like us to test today, write down your questions, or sooner rather than later into the session. Once you see the questions, if one that you have isn't there, write it down, and we'll try to include it in today's show. So, with that said, what I want to do is first of all turn it over to Lisa to see if she has anything to say, and then we'll open up with some very good news about the foundation.
Okay, well, just a couple quick things. We are going to next week start broadcasting Pyramid Quest on the Pyramid Science Foundation YouTube page. So if you haven't went over and subscribed, you're going to want to go over and do that today, because that's where you're going to want to watch Pyramid Quest next week. Also, I have some good news. I finally got the materials for the live blood analysis. So we're going to be able to show you some science and some proof, scientific proof that this stuff is actually working and how well it does work. All the people in my house have volunteered to be guinea pigs for me this week. So lucky me.
How much did that cost, Lisa?
Nothing yet. I don't know if they know they are getting pricked in the finger or not. So
I don't know if you're giving them a free candy bar or what.
I guess. Yep. I could offer them candy. I like candy. That'll probably appease them.
Just coming back from my dental.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I just came back from my dental checkup, so don't use sugar or candy. Give them some fruit.
Nice. Nice. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm gonna be playing around with it this week, and hopefully have at least a couple little things to show you next week. That's about it. That's all I have right now.
Okay, well, without any real drum roll here, you'll see the good news to start with that I want to show all of you. Today, of course, Lisa's going to be testing the Caduceus coil. So, but I hope you all can see. Can you see the slides?
Yep. Yeah, we can see him.
Okay.
Michael Phillips says this live blood analysis is called a blood sacrifice.
Oh, okay. Well, then it may take more than a candy bar. So anyway, I got this news, and it's really exciting news for us. We received our 501c3 designation letter from the Internal Revenue Service Saturday, a week ago. I was going to announce this last Monday, but of course we didn't have the show. So This is really important for several reasons. For one, it means that we can now accept donations, which are now tax deductible to you. Any and all funds that are donated to the foundation will be used to begin funding research projects that the foundation is going to begin to undertake in the near future. So I just wanted to show you the new language that we put on the website. Again, the website for the foundation is pyramidsciencefoundation.org. And you can see here that we were incorporated in 2019 in the second paragraph, and we are designated a tax-exempt 501c3 organization by the Internal Revenue Service. And there's also, there should be, let's see, where did that go? Well, there it is. It's out of sequence. I'm sorry. But further down on that homepage, we have now set up a donation button. You can go to pyramidsciencefoundation.org and click on the donate button. You can, any and all contributions are gratefully accepted. You will receive a confirmation of your donation to the foundation from PayPal once you have given, and you can use that for your taxes to deduct your contributions to the foundation. So we hope that this is going to just be the beginning of a tremendous amount of activity for the foundation in the near future. I am writing up with a fundraising expert information, and we hope to be getting some institutional foundation money for our research projects in the near future. Along that line, while I was doing research on that over the weekend, I actually found this piece of research, which I had never found before. It was actually done in 2006, I believe, yes. But it is, and although it was done in India and it was done with a Giza-style pyramid, this is the kind of research that we are hoping to be able to do with the foundation. So I just wanted to go over that with you quickly. This article can be found, and I will be posting it on the Stargate Pyramids website, and I think we'll also post it on the Pyramid Science Foundation website and begin putting research of this type on there as well. But the title of it is called Housing in Pyramid Counteracts Neuroendocrine and Oxidative Stress Caused by Chronic Restraints in Rats. And I'll give you the summary of what this says. Rats were divided into 4 groups. There was a control group that was just kept normally inside a normally sized cage. Then there were 3 other groups. One group was put inside of a small wire cage. Another group was put into a small box or cube. And the last group was put into a small pyramid. Now, the control group was used, their cortisol and oxidative stress hormone levels were used as the basis for the control group. And then the other 3 groups were tested for various types of stress-induced hormones and chemical compounds inside the body. And in summary, what this research proves, just as Lisa can, I'm sure will attest, when we went out last year and saw thousands of people at various conferences and used the pyramid, other than people saying that they felt tingling or some other effect in their body, people were saying they were peaceful. And so this research confirms that, both those that were put in the small cage and in the small box, their stress hormones were highly elevated relative to the control group, whereas the rats that were put into the small pyramid their stress hormones did not increase. So not at all a surprise that given the research that was done in Russia and so forth, that this would be the case. But this is an actual study that was done on rats in India with a pyramid. So this is just an example of the kind of things that we hope to do with the foundation in the future.
So really, Charlie, people who are overwhelmed at meditation, getting a pyramid and just sitting inside of it is going to be the first step to just, help them get into that state. Just like that study states, stress is the #1 killer in the freaking world, and we are all under high levels of stress. Even under the quarantine, people are even more stressed usually, than working every day. So we could all use a little bit of help, and the pyramid will do that for them.
Well, that's right. And I know I lost an awful lot of weight once I started building these pyramids several years ago. And, I attributed it then, and now I know that there's confirming research. I felt that my cortisol levels were probably reduced as a result of the pyramid, and in fact, that is the case. So, anyway, next week, be on the lookout. I will be showing everyone how to make your own Caduceus coil for those who want to be do-it-yourselfers. And we'll say now, as you'll see, when we begin testing today, this will be the state of the art as we know it as of next week. It keeps evolving, and that's one reason why I didn't want to have the show last week, because I felt as if, and it turned out to be the case, that when we find improvements in the manufacture, the aesthetics, whatever it may be, that we want to pass those on. But I think we're at a point now where we can do this with some assurance after you'll see the results today, that what we'll be showing you how to do next week, which is really the exact same way that we make the coils for purchase on the website, and Lisa will be doing as well on a custom basis. So that'll be next Monday, July the 6th. We'll be showing you how to make that coil. So today we're going to be doing, as I said, Caduceus coil testing. And here are the questions that we're going to attempt to answer today. Do more loops in the coil amplify the energy? We've been told, and we've tested it, that keeping this in multiples of 3, 6, 9 seems to make sense and improve the energy. So we're going to be demonstrating a 36-loop coil versus a 9-loop coil. Then we're going to be checking, does the addition of sand to the coil amplify the energy? And further, does the sand do anything to the scalar waves that are produced to make them more diffuse or less targeted? And if so, does the pyramid clarify the use of the scalar, the Caduceus coil inside the pyramid, clarify the scalar wave if it is if the wave is more diffuse as a result of the sand? Does having the coil inside the pyramid make a difference versus using it outside of the pyramid? That's a fundamental question that all of you will want to see. Does the position of the coil inside the pyramid make a difference? Lisa and I were testing this last week, so I want to tell you, Lisa had the right intuition on this, so we'll show you those results later in the session. Does using an amplifier make a difference? And do using specific frequencies make a difference in the energy field? And finally, does playing 2 or more frequencies simultaneously make a difference as well? So we've got a lot of stuff to test today. So without further ado, I'm going to close down the slide presentation. And before we continue, Lisa was commenting on my backdrop here today. I will probably be doing another episode in the near future on the Tartarian Empire. We have not done anything on that in a number of months, but this is a drawing from, I I think it was the 16th or 17th century in Russia. These are a variety of man-made pyramids. This is a picture of those pyramids that was drawn by someone 400 or 500 years ago. Now, those pyramids, as you can imagine, are not have been torn down and are no longer available. And that's going to be a part of the subject matter that we'll be talking about. There's an interesting series of books by a Russian author named Anatoly Fomenko. I'm just reading one of them now. It's a series of about 24 books, but he goes into a great deal of detail as to how the Russian history, in his view, and of course this is where the Tartarian Empire had its headquarters, has deconstructed the actual history and reconstructed history to meet their own objectives in Russia. So if you wonder why you haven't seen these kinds of pictures before, it's because they're being actively suppressed. But I have found some of these, and we'll be talking about these and others in the next few months. So with that said, why don't we start, Lisa, with the first question, which is, do more loops in the coil amplify the energy? So I'm going to start. I have a 9-loop coil here, which I'm going to hook up to the coil.
Charlie, let me tell them a little bit about what I'm doing, though, how I'm getting these
Oh, no,
determinations.
please do. Absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to turn this sideways so people can see what I'm doing. My screen. Let me open it up a little more. So I'm actually a dowser. I don't use the Bovis scale. I'm not familiar with that, like Bill and Lori were using to test energy. I determine the energy based on my own scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most beneficial energy that could possibly come out of something. So that's how I determine it. And I actually utilize my pendulums that I make. So these are actually Russian geometry pendulums. This is the one designated for the heart chakra because I utilize the heart chakra energy. I utilize the resonance of 528 hertz based on Horowitz's research. And so all the testing we'll be doing today will be using the 528 hertz frequency, correct, Charlie?
That's right, except when we do multiple frequencies, but the standard is going to be 528. Yeah.
Okay, but these little pendulums are really reactive. I have one for each chakra. You can buy the set. They're actually for sale on Etsy right now, so you can buy the set or individual ones. But they have a Lemurian quartz crystal in the peak with gold leaf. And then there's also nice quartz sand and pyrite sand in it as well. So this is what I'm going to be testing today. So right now we're doing the 9-loop one, you said, Charlie?
This is the 9-loop coil, yes. And so just so people can hear it, I'll start. I've got the 528 frequency playing now. I'm going to hook in the connector. So now it's connected to the 9-loop coil inside the pyramid.
Okay.
Give me a second, Lori. Lisa, excuse me. There we go.
Okay, I'm getting a reading of a 5 for this one right now.
Okay, all right.
With 10 being the most beneficial, it's a 5, so.
Okay. Now we will, I'm going to disconnect this one, and I'm going to, the next one we're going to test is a 36 coil, but it does not have sand in it. I originally made it with sand, and as you can see, there's a hole there, so it's an empty tube. I've taken the sand out, and we'll test this one next. So Let me get this. Okay.
So I'm getting the reading of a 7 for this one right now without the sand.
Okay. All right. So, to try to use the scientific method here, we're skipping one step. We've went from 9-loop wooden to 36-loop PVC. So I can't tell you if it's totally the loops or totally the PVC or a combination of both. But I think it's a little bit of both. I've been told that the PVC provides less interference for the production of the scalar waves. So, but there is
I resonate with Nikola Tesla's work as well. 3 has always been my number, my go-to lucky number, and I never knew why until I found Nikola Tesla's work. So, he says the secrets of the universe lie in 3, 6, and 9. So I believe it's really beneficial to keep it in that range.
Sure. So, okay. Now, lastly, we're going to test. We're going to take this off, and I'm going to put on a 36 coil, which does have sand in it. I've got, as you can see, I've got the corks in on both sides, and we'll see how that tests out. Okay.
Okay. So the one with the sand, I'm getting a 10 for, but it keeps going up, going faster and faster. So the energy keeps going up. So I would say like a 10 plus.
A 10 plus. A 10 plus out of 10. I like that. That's like extra credit.
Yeah. Yeah. See?
Hey, Charlie.
Hello?
This is Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
I have a 9-loop coil here with laminar crystal in it.
Oh.
Would you test that for me? It's outside the pyramid right now.
Well,
it's outside the pyramid?
Yeah.
Why don't, Jack, let's finish our testing with some of the things, and then it'll clarify the reading that we get for you when we're done. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I'd like
all
to
right.
keep it all consistent for the time being. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. We got the 10 plus. All right. So two things we have determined. One, that seems as though the more loops in the coil, the better. We would need to probably do a 36 loop wooden coil or a 9-loop PVC to determine whether it was the building materials or the additional coils. But I think it's probably a little bit of both. Not sure. All right. And then we've also determined that the sand does enhance the capacity or the energy field of the pyramid. Now, Lisa, the next question I'm going to ask a little, advice from you. Does the sand, we want to test as well whether, these inside or outside the pyramid, makes a difference. So I guess it would make sense to move first to the outside and test these very same 3 again and see what we get. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
So let me move to my other location here. I've tried to set up a spot, let's see, outside here. Whoops, let's see here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go back once again to the 9-loop coil, and I'm going to hook that together. And I'm going to put that under the chair. All right, here we go.
Okay. I'm still getting a 5 for that. I believe that's what we got the first time.
It is, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then we will do the 36 loop with no sand. All right.
So this one is actually a 6 outside, which I
Okay.
think is a little lower than what I got the first time, right?
Right, because you got a 7 the first time. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll try the coil, 36 loop coil with the sand. Okay. All right.
Okay, this one is an 8 outside.
All right. So there is definitely, at least with respect to the larger coils, there seems to be an advantage to using it in conjunction with the pyramid in terms of the total energy effect.
Yeah, definitely. So what I'm getting is that it amplifies. The pyramid structures the frequency more and amplifies it more when it's used inside the pyramid. And it has to do with the number of loops as well. So.
Okay. So that you're answering part of the next question that we had on the list, which is a question that has arisen by some that we wanted to test was whether or not the use of the sand itself might be, and Jack, just so you know, this is going to lead into your questions that we can also try to answer later. But one of the theories that has been proposed to me is that the use of the sand, although it may amplify, and it seems to amplify the energy field, may have an effect of kind of diffusing the scalar wave energy field that's produced. So I'm going to ask you, Lisa, what's the best way that we can try to test for that? Should we test this coil inside and outside the pyramid, asking the question, is the energy field diffuse or precise? How would you suggest we do that?
Well, I mean, what I'm picking up intuitively right now is that, the sand is quartz crystal. Okay. So there's hundreds or millions of pieces of that quartz crystal in there. It's like they use quartz in radio transmitters. Okay. So the frequency is being transmitted through all of those little crystals, which causes a little bit of chaos when it's outside of the pyramid. It doesn't deplete the energy fully. It's still energized, but it is affecting the energy outside of the pyramid. When you put it inside the pyramid structure itself is structuring all of those frequencies and amplifying them all at once. It's kind of similar to the capstones that I make. I put crystals inside. I use the bionized quartz sand, the different colors. They all have different frequencies, but when I encase them in that resin and mold them into the shape of the pyramid, it creates one solid healing frequency. It meshes them all together, if that makes sense.
Sure. So I'm wondering, could we do on a 1 to 10 scale an appropriate question to test inside and outside for clarity? Would it be on a 1 to 10 scale? What is the level of clarity of the scalar field?
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah, let's see what we get. So we'll do this outside the pyramid first.
Okay. Now, which one is this, Charlie?
This is
the 9 again? Are we gonna go?
This is the quartz sand 36
Okay.
loop coil outside the pyramid. So this is outside.
Okay. I'm getting a 7 outside.
Outside is a 7. Okay. All right. Now I'll move back inside and we'll see if we get a differing result. Let me get this reset here. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's still a 10. It's a 10.
10 for clarity.
Inside.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yes. Yeah.
And if we could, this
It's
may
just
help.
going fast. It's going faster, so it would be even more, I'm sure.
10
10 plus.
10 plus. Okay. Okay. Now, I guess what I'd like to do is to test that against I do the same, maybe the same thing with the wooden coil as well. Let's just see. I'll go outside the pyramid again, and we can test the clarity.
And this is the one without the sand.
That's right. This is the wooden dowel 9
Okay.
9 loop coil
Okay.
outside.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm all set.
Okay. I'm getting a 6 for that one outside the pyramid.
For outside, okay.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to put the 36 loop with the PVC, no sand, on next, outside the pyramid.
Okay.
So that's this one.
Okay.
And again, we're going to.
You know, what I'm getting as well, Charlie, is that people can add crystals to these to amplify the clarity outside of the pyramid as well. It'll also amplify it inside the pyramid, but if they want to increase it, they want to use it for other healing purposes outside of the pyramid to add crystals, not the crystal sand, just one specific crystal.
Okay.
Just focus on the one crystal that can fit. So that'll help. Yeah.
And maybe that's something we can show next week as well, when you have a chance to make one and do it with crystals. That's a great thing to do next week.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, 36 coil, no sand outside the pyramid.
Okay. This one is a 7 as well.
Okay.
This one's a 7. Yep.
Okay. So now we're going to go back inside. We'll just stick with this one so I don't have to change it. So now we've got the 36 coil, no sand inside the pyramid. So, all right, we're set.
Okay, I'm getting an 8 for this one.
An 8, okay.
Mhm.
All right, and then we'll go back. Last test of this is the nine loop wooden coil. Okay, all right.
Okay, this one's an 8 as well inside the pyramid.
Okay, all right.
You know, Charlie, I think it would be a cool idea to get some of the people that follow us every week on the live chat. Either utilize their pendulums. If they utilize pendulums for anything, they could even comment and go along with us during these shows and test the energy themselves. You know, just by tuning in with your picture. You know, that's what I do. I tune into your energy, and they could post the results that they get, and we can see how they compare to the results I'm getting as well.
That would be that's a fantastic idea because we'd love to get, you know, further confirmation on these. These are I will say to everyone, these are not dissimilar from what we got when we tested this last week before the show. So I know that there's high degree of consistency between Lisa's measurements, but it would be great to get other people's, you know, verifying dowsing or other intuitive, you know, means, whether you use rods or pendulums or whatever. So that's a tremendous idea.
Yeah. That's what some newcomers, they might see us doing this and be like, oh, we're just throwing numbers and stuff out there. But it's really just an extension of our consciousness, the knowledge that we all have inside of us, the knowledge of the whole entire universe is inside of us. And that's what we're bringing out with this. It's just a clarity to ourselves that these are the true answers.
Yeah.
You know, so getting confirmation from others that they're getting the same readings, that really proves it to themselves more than anybody, you know.
That's
You have to
absolutely
do this
right.
stuff for yourself, really, to confirm it for yourself.
So to go over the first 4 questions in summary, what we seem to have found: do more loops in the coil amplify the energy? The answer is yes. Does the addition of sand to the coil amplify the energy? The answer is yes. Does the sand make the scalar wave more diffuse? The answer is yes. If so, does the pyramid clarify the scalar wave energy? And the answer is yes. So we've gotten answers to our first 4 questions today, and I think those are important for those of you who may be trying to use these outside of the pyramid. You're going to find that the addition of the sand is going to make you know, for somewhat more diffuse. It also seems as though using wood also tends to decrease the clarity as well, which tends to confirm what we were told by some, that the PVC would actually have the least impact on the quality of the scalar field. So now, does having the coil inside the pyramid make a difference? Absolutely. We've proven that. We've seen that inside the pyramid, the energy field increases anywhere from 1 to 2 levels, if not more. We never stopped getting increased, it looks like from Lisa, numbers on the sand coil, 36 loop coil. We stopped at 10 plus, but it seems to increase both the amplitude and the clarity. I may want to do a piece on this. This is all would be corroborated by research that Marshall Lefferts uses or describes in his book, Cosmometry, Exploring the Holofractal Nature of the Cosmos. And it has to do with the phi scaling angle, which some research that he discusses indicates will both amplify and clarify frequencies in its midst. So this all makes sense versus the research. So next, does the position of the coil inside the pyramid make a difference? And this is a fascinating topic because we had not tested this before. And sure enough, as we began to test last week, we found out that it does indeed seem to make a difference. So I'm going to start, once again, I'm going to go back to our standard, which is the sand 36 loop coil. And we're going to let Lisa maybe direct us as to what would you like me to do to demonstrate these, Lisa?
Okay, I was typing, I apologize. I was typing when you were talking, so I missed what we're testing right now. So can you repeat that?
We're going to, I know it is. Yeah, don't worry about it. We're testing the impact of the position of the coil inside the pyramid, whether putting it on the floor, holding it, putting it higher up in the direction and so forth. So Lisa had some great intuition.
Well, let's test it.
Yeah.
Let's test it on the floor first and do some readings on that first.
Okay. Now this is on the floor underneath my chair and
just laying flat?
Laying flat, and it's in a north-south direction with the actual 2 wires are actually facing south. Because I know we noticed that might make a difference.
Okay. Okay, I'm getting a 5 that it's out of 10 being the most beneficial spot in the pyramid to put the coil. This one is a 5. Okay.
Oh, so this is, you're testing for the optimal location right now. Is that right? So, so why don't you tell the audience what question you're asking the pendulum precisely? On a 1 to 10 scale, is this the best location or?
Yep, on a 1 to 10 scale, with 10 being the most beneficial location in the pyramid, is this the most beneficial spot below Charlie's chair?
Okay.
And you have to be very specific when you're speaking to the pendulum, is what I understand. So that's what I've already.
Okay. So on the floor,
I'm getting a 5 on that. Okay.
Okay. So since we've done all the other tests on the floor like this, we may actually find that the energy might rise after we find the optimal location. Or it might be clarity, but it could be one or both, I guess, that could improve.
Yeah.
All right. So where would you like me to, you want me to hold it next?
Yeah, hold it just in front of you. Actually, let's do this, Charlie. Put it on the floor, but see if you can put it under your chair, but stand it up. So the prongs are at the bottom though. Okay.
Okay, well, I can do that. Just give me a second I'll just bend them a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Whoops, lost the contact. Hold on. Okay, that should do it. All right, so what I've done, I've just show everyone the The wires are in the bottom. I'm just going to prop this up between my legs, rest it on the floor, and let it kind of sit just a little bit shy of pure vertical onto my, leaning onto my chair.
Okay. Okay, this is an 8, as in the most beneficial position. And when utilizing it under your chair, that would be the best position to put it in, though.
Say that again.
I'm sorry. If you want to position the coil under your chair,
Yeah.
positioning it straight up and down would be the most beneficial way to position it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. But if
Yeah, so
my
if you're
chair,
familiar with the Caduceus,
yeah.
well, if you're familiar with the Caduceus coil, the Caduceus symbol, that's the 2 serpents intertwining,
Right.
weaving in and out.
Yep.
So that's what we're doing, and it's the same energy as the Kundalini energy. Okay.
Right.
Now it's just it's still weaving up, so we're mainly positioning that, and kind of, since it's underneath our root chakra, which is where the Kundalini energy starts rising, it's kind of enhancing that. But I feel it's a very slow energy when it's underneath your chair. So it's a slower opening of the Kundalini.
Well, let me now I've come up with another idea. Should we try putting it near the base of my spine in the back of the chair, standing up?
Yes. Yeah, we can do that.
Let's see if I can make that work. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to have to change my configuration just a little bit here. Let's see. Okay. Okay, it's standing up.
Okay. This increased it a little bit. It's actually a 9 now.
It feels like I'm feeling a little bit more energy.
Yeah, even the pendulum is moving a little bit faster. My pendulum moves really according to the energy, so I can determine how fast the energy is coming out as well.
Okay. And what did I just do? Oh, goodness. Let me see. This thing fell down and my clip fell off. Isn't that great? I'm going to go get another clip. I'll be out for about 1 minute. So, Lisa, if you've got something you can talk about for a minute or so, I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, I do have some good jokes, but I probably shouldn't tell them. They're not very clean. No, but so I'm just going to remind everybody, go to the Pyramid Science Foundation page, please, and subscribe to that. That's on YouTube. We're going to be starting to post these Pyramid Quest episodes next week on the Pyramid Science Foundation YouTube page. Also, I just posted a link under the Pyramid Science Foundation in the live chat for this video. It's the link to my Etsy shop where you can order one of these Russian pyramid pendulums, and you can go along with us during the show and test the energies. It'd be awesome to get that confirmation. When you're getting the same reading as I am, that's going to be way more confirmation for you than just watching me do it, especially if you haven't worked with a pendulum before. The pendulum was my very first tool when I got into all of this, to give me that confirmation that yes, we do have an intuition, and yes, we should start trusting it. This is the best tool that you can utilize for that. Like I said before, we all have the knowing inside of us. This is just confirmation and clarity for us when we're receiving that information. So if you have your own pendulum other than this, you're welcome to use that as well, rods or whatever you get your answers for. let me just answer a couple questions. So Michael's asking if I can make any correlation of north and south direction energy and north and south nodes, past life acquired knowledge and future purpose. So no, I'm actually new to this. So I'm sure I could eventually, when I get more in depth, to do an energy reading, like determining how the strength of energy, I should say. I've been an energy healer practitioner for a few years now. So I can feel different energies, but just on determining how powerful they are and stuff, this is actually, I'm new to that. So eventually when I get a little bit more in depth with it, I'm sure I'll have more details on that. Starlight, we're going to get to that in a second. So you're already ahead of the game. And I'm not going to say what he said, but.
Okay, well, I'm back, so we can keep going. Now, the next, where would you like me to hold next? You want me to hold it in my?
Maybe in front of you?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you want me to hold it up or sideways? How do you want me to hold it?
Well, let's just hold it up with the prongs down,
Okay.
because we've already determined that that's the best position for it. So.
Okay. All right, so I'll just hold this while I'm sitting down here.
Okay. Now, again, we're playing the 528 hertz frequency through all the coils right now. The
That
Caduceus
is
coils.
correct.
That's what Charlie's holding.
This is all 528.
Okay, and this is still the 36 loop coil
36
made of
loop
PVC
with
pipe
sand.
with the sand inside.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I don't know if holding with one or two hands would make a difference. I'm just holding with one right now.
No, it's really just about the position of it. Hold on
Okay.
1 second here. I feel you just positioning it that way. I feel a back and forth energy in between your ears right now. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a back and forth?
More front back, but yeah, I'm feeling some pulsation.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this is a 9 actually in this position.
Okay. All right. So this is held as a 9. Okay. And then want me to hold it higher? Because I think that's where we're going to find our best.
Yeah. Yep. So, if anyone has ordered the Apex amplifier from me, that's the little platform that I've made to put people, you can put your crystals on it, your capstones on it, charge water on it. But the main reason I designed that was because when Lori and Bill tested the energy of the pyramid, they found that at the apex was the most power. So it's going to be the same. We've already tested this, and that's why I didn't answer Starlight, because he said, can you hang it from the top of the pyramid? So that's what we're doing right now. We're going to test the energy that's being up at the peak of the pyramid, okay? Okay, and it's a 10 plus at the peak.
Okay.
So it's going up, it's going faster and going up. But what I'm getting also, Charlie, we had it underneath the chair. I could feel the energy was slower underneath the chair, the Kundalini energy, the Caduceus coil energy. But when you put it up top, it's going to be a lot faster. So if you're new and you want to get the Kundalini energy flowing, I would recommend probably putting it under the chair first. If you already are familiar with that, because it's an overwhelming feeling when you get that Kundalini rush. But if you want that faster, you're going to put it up at the peak, because it's going to acquire that faster for you.
Okay, cool. All right. Now, I guess, again, for next week, what we'll want to look at as well is maybe securing. We want to make sure that it's not the fact that I'm holding this that may have an impact. So we'll want to actually fasten it with a piece of twine or something and suspend it so it's not touching me, so we can make sure that that's still the case, but I'm pretty sure that it will be. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, position matters, and it seems that the higher up we go inside the pyramid, the more powerful. A question that we did not ask, which we probably should as well. I'll put this up. Could you check the clarity of the scalar wave emanations
Okay.
up top?
Okay. Okay, it's a 10 plus as well. The clarity is way better up at the top compared to at the bottom.
Let's, if you don't mind, let's at least do one reading for clarity on the floor so we can, because we didn't do that.
Okay.
So I've got it on the floor now. Just sitting on the floor.
Okay, it's a 6 on the floor.
Okay, so there's an improvement both in the energy and the clarity when we put it up towards the top. Okay. All right, next question. Does using an amplifier make a difference? Now, what I've been doing inside the pyramid so far has been to use, I've had it on, quite honestly, at full blast. So what we should expect when we test it in a couple of different locations inside the pyramid, I'm going to turn it down to, I'm sorry, I had it on very low, forgive me. So let's turn it all the way up and see if there's any discernible difference. I should have, well, that's all right. Okay, so now I've got the amplifier going at full speed.
Are we testing the clarity now again, Charlie?
We could test energy and clarity, I guess, yeah. Because we were at only about 20 watts before. Now we're at 100.
Okay, this is a 9.
Really?
Power-wise, energy-wise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
you can definitely see it right away. The pendulum starts picking up speed a lot faster just by you raising that or turning the amplifier up. Okay, I'm getting a 9 for both clarity and energy.
Well, let's think this through because we had a 10 and a 10 before. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, what I'm getting is that it's mainly, if I was reading the energy outside of the pyramid, it's going to affect you, but it's actually amplifying the energy and frequencies outside of the pyramid even more. Do you know what I mean?
So it's increasing the field. Maybe that's what we ought to be testing. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's ask the question then maybe in a slightly different way. On a 1 to 10 scale, what is the, how do we want to call it? The extent or the range of the energy field?
Oh, how far does it extend?
Yeah, on a 1 to 10.
Or how does it enhance, how much does it enhance the energy field? Hold on one second here. Do you have it on right now?
Now, let me check my connection here. Just hold on. Okay, yeah, I've got it on. I've got it on at full blast now.
Okay. I'm not sure how far the field goes, but it definitely is enhancing the field of the pyramid.
The range of it?
Yes, the range that it's expanding from outside and
Okay.
around it.
Well, I'll tell
The
you,
torus energy.
yeah, let's try it in a different way. If this is let's assume this is a 10 with it up all the way. If I turn it down, can you then see relative to the previous reading, can you ask what on a 1 to 10 scale it would be if the other one was a 10? Because I've got it turned down now.
Okay. Okay. I'm getting that it increases it by 7-fold. So 7 times when you have it up higher. It's increasing the field of the pyramid by about 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, I wasn't going to tell you, but I had it at something roughly at about 15% of total. So, that's 7-fold. So,
Oh, very nice. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Nice.
that's not at all a surprise. So it's 7 times. Now, one final thing I guess we should do with this exercise is to check it against running the very same frequency off of the cell phone directly without going through.
Oh, instead of the amplifier. Okay.
Right. So I'm going to change clips here because I have a different clip to go directly into the cell phone. Oh, that's right. Try a different clip here. Some plugs, I was trying a monaural plug that I had received, and quite honestly, it doesn't fit well into my cell phone. So I had to switch out. Okay. So now we're playing it directly through this from the cell phone.
Okay. Okay, and getting with you, when you use it with a cell phone, it expands the energy field by 3 instead of 7.
Okay. All right. So there's a distinct difference. All right.
I feel though that if you, from what I'm getting, is if you wear headphones while you're listening to the frequency instead of just playing it inside the pyramid, it's going to make you more resonant with that frequency, like a giant crystal. Do you know what I mean? Because you're tuning out all the other frequencies around you. So it's going to amplify that even more.
Well, now that's an interesting idea. Not sure I'm set to do that. I could actually, let me see if I have we'll do that next week. I don't have
Okay.
I could take this, and rather than put a clip on it on the other end, I could have 2 wires that I could plug into the amplifier, and then we could check listening to headphones. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, with the amplifier as well. Okay.
With the amplifier as well.
Nice.
Right. So that'll be one for next week, because it's a great idea, and we'll test that next week. All right. So using an amplifier definitely makes a difference. Now we need to find out if specific frequencies make a difference. I'm going to go back, just to keep consistency here, I'm going to go back to my original configuration with the amplifier, so everything kind of stays consistent. But I'm going to change frequencies now. Let me hook everything back up.
I think the frequencies are going to be a harder read for me. Mainly it's going to be, I'm going to be determining if they're most beneficial, you know, how it's affecting you in the pyramid, but they're going to be different for everybody because it depends on what frequency that person's already resonating at. You know, science tells us when one frequency comes in contact with another, they have to balance each other out. And so we're utilizing some of these frequencies to build our energy up, but it really depends on your base energy when you first start using these frequencies.
Well, that's a good point. Let's see what we end up with, though. I'm going to let's see how we're going to do this then. Hold on. What we're expecting, at least what I think we've found in the past, it seems as though the higher frequencies innately have a little bit higher resonance or energy to them. So let's just start with we can take some harmonics off of the 9th seed. Why don't we start with 222 if we can, and then I had to reset my phone here briefly, so bear with me. Restart it. But I think maybe we'll do 222 and then a 444 and maybe an 888. And then we're going to try putting some of these in combination and see what happens.
Okay.
Get my phone plugged back in here.
I'm going to do a base reading for your energy right now, Charlie, okay?
Oh, okay. Without any frequencies?
Right.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, you're a 5 right now without the frequency.
Okay. All right. And then let's just start That's a good place to start, right in the middle of the 5 for this demonstration.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we start with a, oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Phone was freezing up there. Okay. I don't know if everyone can hear this, but this is a 222. So, all right, now I'm playing a 222 frequency.
Okay. Okay, it's up to a 7 with the 222.
All right. Now I'll take it to 528. Okay.
Okay, it's still a 7 with the 528.
Okay. 528, 7. All right. I'll try an 888 just for fun. Okay, 888.
Yeah, that just blasted you out of the top of the pyramid. It's a 10 plus on my scale.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm going to switch to a 999. Okay, this is 999.
Okay. I'm getting a 6 for this one for you.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've been told that that 999 will not produce harmonics. So that there may,
Oh, really? Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So this actually makes some sense. So now what I'll do, I'll play a 220. I'll go back and play a 222 and an 888 together.
Okay.
And just give me a second. It takes a little while to set these up. 222. And an 888. Okay, so here's 222 plus 888. We've got 2 tones going together.
Okay. It's an 8.
That's just an 8. Okay.
Yeah, it tuned it down that a little bit.
222 and 888 is an 8. So now let me try
Yeah. So
330.
for you right now so far, the 888 is the most beneficial by itself.
That's right. So we're going to, now just for fun, we'll do a 333 and a 666.
Okay.
We obviously can't do every combination here, but I think if we demonstrate that
Yeah.
each of these frequencies is going to have a different impact on me, they'll probably have a different impact on you as well. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
so here we go. Here's 333 and 666. Those are actually octaves of each other.
This is actually a 9 for you, but it's a more gentle energy. Like I feel just a warm, tingly sensation throughout my body.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So I think really all we can say at this point, and this is where, for everybody in the audience, this is where we really will need to begin real research, and it's going to take trial and error on all of our parts in a collective kind of attempt to learn how each of these frequencies impact our bodies. So, that's kind of as far as we'll want to, I think, go with the multiple frequencies. But you can see that multiple frequencies can have different impacts, as does different individual frequencies on my body. So I'm sure the same thing is true for you as well. So.
Hey, Charlie, Tom is saying it should be 888 plus 111. Do you want to try that real
Sure.
quick?
Yeah, happy to. Okay, I don't know if I cannot hear that, but 111 is going and, oh, wait a second.
888.
Yeah, that's just, something's going wrong. Sometimes this thing is a little,
We short-circuited it with all the energy.
well, oh, no wonder you can't hear it because I forgot to unplug it. That's the reason. I can barely hear the 111. So the 111 and the 888 are going now.
Okay, hold on one second here. Yeah, I'm getting a 10 plus for the 88 for this one, the 888 with the 111. I still felt though that the 888 by itself was still more powerful for you though than adding the other frequency.
Okay, well, what
That's
I'm
for
gonna
you though. I mean, it's going to be different for everybody.
That's right. Just to double check, I'm going to turn the 111 off now. And so now we're back to just plain 888.
Okay. Yeah. And two, the energy is changing all the time. So the first time you played the 888, I felt a big blast of energy, but I felt like that was all that you really needed, was that little bit of that frequency at that time. Because now that I'm testing the 888 for you again, it's still a 10 plus, but it's a lot slower energy. I didn't get that blast anymore. So that's what some of these frequencies, and I think we've learned that before, you don't need to listen to them very long at all to get the benefit from it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, if Jack is still on, we're done with what we were planning on doing today, Jack. So if you'd like to come on, we can have Lisa test your coil as well now.
Yep.
Do you need me to be visible?
Yeah, if you don't mind, Jack, please. I do better with pictures with images. Everybody that's ordered a capstone, everybody that orders a capstone from me knows that. They've sent me numerous pictures of themselves so I could design things for them. And that's what I'm planning on doing with these coils. We're going to make intuitive design Caduceus coils. I didn't have them on my website yet. I know I said I was going to put them on there for sale, but I'm going to be working on the prototype this week and then getting it up for sale by the end of the week. So we'll have it on there ready for next show.
And that's not Lisa's fault. We're trying to get a common design that's as good as we can get it before we start customizing and make them consistent. So,
well, I was trying to get my picture on there, and all I got now is a little picture of Charlie up in there.
In the bottom left hand,
yeah.
No, I see something now.
In the bottom left hand corner, you'll see something that says "Stop Video," and you need to if there's a red line across there, you need to click on it so your video will come on.
Yeah.
Something seems to be on, Jack, but it's just a blur.
Okay, there's. Now, what did you
That's okay,
say?
Jack. I can, if you can't get it, don't worry about it. Let's just, you can play the frequency and I'll just try to tune in that way. Okay.
All right. So I have my, I'm sitting in the, do I need to be out of the pyramid? I have the
Let me
coil
do
on
a
it.
base. Let me do a base reading of you before you use the coil. Okay.
Okay, I'm outside the pyramid right now.
Okay. Let me do a base reading for you. Let me turn this way. Okay, you're a 7 right now outside of the pyramid. You've been sitting in there for a while, so
Yes. Okay, I'll
you're
start the
still
coil.
retaining some of that energy.
I'll start the coil at
Okay,
528 outside the pyramid.
Okay. And your coil, Jack, how many loops does it have on it?
This is a 9 with laminar crystal inside.
Okay, is it just one big laminar crystal inside of it?
No, it's
Or is there a bunch of little ones?
almost like sand.
Okay. Okay.
Yep, it
Now where
dropped.
are you? Are you still outside the pyramid or are you inside it?
Just a second. I'm outside the pyramid as is the coil.
Okay.
And where's the coil in relation to you, Jack? Under your chair?
No, it's beside me, outside the pyramid.
Okay.
And I
Okay,
have
I'm
it.
still getting a 7. I'm still getting a 7. What we would have to do really is to mostly test this before you start using it for the day, because you're already retaining a lot of the energy from it. But I think once we're going to see when you test it, when you go sit inside of it, we're going to see an increase that way as well. Are you able to move the coil so it's inside of your pyramid?
I have it underneath me, pointing up right now.
Okay, awesome. Hold on one second.
And you're inside, Jack?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, I'm getting a 10 for you right now, Jack. It's a slower energy though, just like we were determining earlier with the coil. You're just gonna feel a softer energy, but it's gonna be more focused because it's inside of the pyramid. And that, you know, like we were talking about earlier with the Nice quartz sand, all the little particles of the sand are diffusing it in different directions. When you bring the coil inside, you're gonna actually mold those all together. So it's focusing and bringing them into one frequency.
Okay, what I've been doing is at night putting my coil in the pyramid next to my bed, and I've been playing either 528 or 3 of the different frequencies while I sleep.
Right, right.
Nice, but you've been laying it on the floor, right? You've been laying it down. Try this week doing it with it standing up with the prongs that you hook up to the amplifier down. And try it that way this week, and then give us your results next week if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay.
I
like
thank you.
the feeling of that or is it laminar?
Laminar crystal.
Yeah, I like it. It's a softer. You really feel it in the heart. So you really connect with that heart energy, which is what we're trying to do right now with the global coherence of the planet. We're all trying to connect to each other through our heart, and I feel that has a big benefit that way. It's just a softer, loving energy is what I'm feeling, but it definitely amplifies it and benefits you.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. And especially, you keep playing that 528 hertz, you know, that's what, if you've read the book by Leonard Horowitz on, you know, the book of 528, he talks about how that resonates with the heart frequency. So that's really going to enhance the power of that laminar as well.
Okay.
Let's see, Tom's saying, looks like Tom's asking us to try 777 and 222. So
Okay.
let me go back and try that.
Okay.
There's 222.
Ooh.
777. Okay. And I bet you're getting tired, Lisa.
No, as soon as you started playing the 222, my eyes just started blinking uncontrollably, like it was focusing, trying to get up to the third eye. But then as soon as you played the 777, I felt it in my heart. So now I'm feeling it's kind of like a binaural beat where it creates a different frequency when you're listening to two, because I feel it in my throat, like it's opening up. It feels like to me it's opening up more communication with spirit by playing these frequencies together. Hold on, let me see what your level of energy is right
These
now.
are different chakras, you know, in the ninth seed. So that's not a surprise at all.
Okay. I don't feel these ones are beneficial for you, though. I feel like it's lowering your vibration. I'm not even really getting a reading for you. It just keeps getting lower and lower as we're listening to it. And do you feel anything in your heart? Because I feel like a flutter in your heart.
I'm actually almost feeling like I'm getting drained. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like it's flushing down. So I'm going to stop that one.
But like we said, you know, don't be scared. That was 777 and 222 together. But don't be scared of trying those for yourself, because like we said, everybody's different. So different frequencies are going to work for different people. Yeah. But just pay attention to the feelings in your body when you're using them, because your body it's not going to lie.
That's right. That's right. So
Tom wants us to be on here all day because he's still popping out numbers here. 444 and 555.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Last one for today, folks.
The last one.
This is it. No more.
What were they? What were the numbers?
444 and
this is 4. Yep, 444 and 555.
Okay. All right. Let me get those set up.
You're getting this off your cell phone?
Yeah, I'll show.
Yeah, he's using an app.
This is an app called Frequency Sound Generator. You can actually you can get this for both Android and iPhone. It's nice because you can play up to 3 tones at once. So I can start the 444 and then I add the 555 and they'll play at the same time.
Gotcha.
So this is like a major third, like C and E on the piano. Okay.
I would like to say, Charlie, that I just played it through the cell phone without an amplifier for when we doing that.
Okay.
I've been doing it too.
Okay. Okay, I'm getting a 7 for you with these frequencies.
Okay. All right, so 444. And 555 is a 7. All right. Well, as you can see, each one seems to work differently for me, and I'm sure it's going to be the same for you, as we've said. So, all right, it's time for us, I guess, to stop for today. Lisa, any thoughts from what we've learned today that you want to conclude about?
Well, mainly just, I'm going to reiterate again, we're going to start playing Pyramid Quest live on the Pyramid Science Foundation YouTube page. So go over and subscribe right now. I know there's only a few subscribers over there right now. So hopefully we'll see a big jump this week, and we want to see you all over there. But thank you all for watching. If you can, next time we're doing testing, bust out your pendulum and go along with us. We love that confirmation. We want to see what readings you guys are getting as well. And we love to hear about your results utilizing our pyramid energy and all the different products that we're offering now. So, tell your friends, like Charlie always says. That's about all I have for today.
Okay. Well, as
will Zoom still work next week?
I'm sorry?
What was that?
Will Zoom still work next week?
Yeah, it'll be the same Zoom link. So
Okay.
if you follow on Zoom, that link won't change. What will change is for those people who want to watch on YouTube, you'll be going to the Stargate Pyramids YouTube page. Excuse me, to the Pyramid Science Foundation YouTube page. Forgive me.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we thank you all for watching. And as always, tell your friends about Stargate Pyramids, the Pyramid Science Foundation, Lisa's work, and all. Tell them to subscribe and to come back and see us each and every Monday at noon. We thank you for watching, and you have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Take care.